Welcome to Steps, a podcast celebrating people and their stories. Far too often, we don't give people the opportunity to share their journey, where they've come from, what they've overcome, and the amazing things that have happened in their lives. That's what we're going to do on Steps. We'll have real conversations with real people to understand how they've gotten to this place in time. Confucius said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So, let's start this journey. Just wanted to hop on here and record a new episode of Baby Steps and wanted to kind of connect with you. And my topic that I wanted to talk about today in Baby Steps is others and perception and all of that stuff. And there's kind of a little bit of a story or anecdote around it. Many of that you know, many of that follow. It's been a couple weeks since I've thrown out an episode. I think probably about a month. And life has happened every day. And it's not like this isn't a priority. It really is. I absolutely love coming on here. I love talking to people, sharing people's stories. That's the genesis of Steps. But it takes some time, right? And again, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an employee, I'm all of these different things, right? And a couple weeks back, I traveled to Dallas, Texas for one of the first events that I'd been back to in over 2 years. For those of you that do or don't know me, sports marketing manager for Adidas Volleyball. And I was on the ground at the Lone Star Classic in Dallas, connecting with my friends, connecting with people, and really getting back into the swing of things. And it was amazing. The challenge was leading up to it, I was ill prepared, right? Like I didn't have my ducks in a row. I was juggling all of the stuff that was going on in life. And 2 weeks ago was when a new episode was supposed to come out. And instead of rushing it, instead of cruising through stuff and just kind of putting up something half-assed a little bit and taking time away from my kids and my family and set my family up for success, I decided not to do it. And it was actually really tough for me because I've gotten a lot of great feedback and I love the people that listen consistently. And I got to talk to a lot of people out at the tournament about that. But part of me was I felt as though that I was going to be letting people down. And that's a hard thing for me, for anybody that knows me. And it's something that I'm working on trying to move past, right? Really trying not to focus on what other people think about me or how I come off to them and literally living my authentic truth and living my life. Gary Vee talks a lot about it, right? Like his big thing is he really wants to not give a rip about what people think about him. And he truly believes that the way he acts. And he's like, I don't care if people are going to hate, great. If people want to celebrate me, that's cool. But it doesn't matter because he's putting this stuff out and he's doing things that matter to him. And he shows up every day authentically. And it kind of got me thinking about how we put so much merit into what other people think. And how, honestly, it's hard not to worry about what people think about us. In the age of Instagram, in the age of, TikTok, in the age of all these things, likes and shares and subscribes, and this is how people grow their business. It's hard. And excuse me, I'm guilty of that too, right? Like I have a very hard time not worrying about what people think. Corey and I, my wife, we had a conversation today as we were I was coming into work and we dropped the kids off to school. And it was a little bit about where I was going to go with on this Baby Steps, what I wanted to talk about. And what kind of prompted a little bit more of this is in the world of everything going on and people seeking validation, each one of us, anybody that listens, seeks validation in some way, shape, or form, right? I saw something on Instagram yesterday that there was a volleyball player, James Madison, not a volleyball player, softball player, James Madison, that took her own life. And a couple of days ago was Mental Health Awareness Day. I've seen a lot of great things out there from people like Victoria Garrick, the Hidden Opponent, all these advocates of talking about mental health. The challenge that, in my opinion, that we come across, right, in the world of athletics and in life is everybody's constantly seeking validation. We always care what other people think. As an athlete, right, I was a coach on that other side of things. Athletes care what coaches think about them. Athletes worry about when they make a mistake and they drop their head. They worry about getting pulled out. And the more that we can, as humans, instill in athletes and in other people, that we're more than the successes, we're more than the mistakes, we're more like we are human beings. I love the fact that I get to introduce myself as Steve Venzel, who's a husband and who's a father first. Like that's what I always lead with. The problem is many of these athletes view themselves as volleyball players, as softball players, as football players. And when they don't get the approval that they feel as though they need or deserve from coaches, from others, it makes people go to places that in many cases they probably could avoid by becoming comfortable in their own skin. And I think that's something that we're constantly working at, trying to identify and trying to figure that out as individuals. But I'm going to bring it back around to like being a father as well. How do me and Corey, how do we instill those things in our kids? It's hard. And we do a lot of it, try to through, communication, how we're articulating things to them and all of that. But we're going to screw up. But I also don't want them to look to us for the ultimate approval. We want them to care, and we want to teach them things that we think are important to them, but they've got to figure it out. And that's with whether it be kids, student athletes, or even adults. And that's something that I'm constantly working at as well. It saddens me to hear of people that battle unhappiness, depression, and all of that. And again, I know it's a real thing. I've briefly talked about, like, I had fits of depression where I was really, really sad, really, really uncomfortable, and all of that. And I was not showing up well for my family. And I don't know where it came from. I mean, we can talk childhood, we can talk all of that stuff. I mean, again, I uncover a lot of that in therapy, but it's hard for us to sit and not put merit in what other people think and try to be comfortable in our own skin. And I struggle with it too. So I just kind of wanted to come on here. I wanted to share my thoughts around this, right? Others oriented, or thinking about others. And each one of us is bigger than the people that judge us. And we need to do the work to make sure that we're trying to continue to be comfortable in our own skin and understand who and what type of person we want to be. So that's kind of my challenge to everybody. Right? Can you take 1 to 2 minutes today after you listen to this? If you're listening to it now, pause it and come back. But start a list of the person that you want to be. Start a list of the things that you want to stand for, regardless of what other people think about you. Because you're more than what I think about you. You're more than what other people think about you. You're your own person. You're unique. And the more that we can embrace that, the better off I think everybody will be. Or we can take those positive steps forward to continue to figure out what it looks like. I'll close with this. I listened to something on LinkedIn. There's a talk that Mel Robbins was doing at a conference or something like that. And what caught me was, like, tomorrow isn't promised. We could get hit by a bus or a train or die of a heart attack, right? What's the life that you want to live, regardless of what other people think about you? What do you hope to accomplish? What type of person do you hope to be? Think about that. And let's take some steps forward together to accomplish that. I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you. Like, if there's anything that you want me to talk about, you want to dig in, you want to slide into the DMs, you guys know how to get a hold of me. And if not, at Steve Venzel on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. But I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for every single person to put on those noise canceling headphones, tune out what other people are thinking, and work on designing the life that you want. Have an awesome day. What were your takeaways? What were you left with? Let me know over on my Instagram at Steve Venzel, SteveVencl, on the post for this episode. Additionally, please share this with someone who may benefit from hearing these words. That's what it's about, sharing people's stories and understanding how to keep moving forward. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, keep moving forward. even if it is just one small step at a time.